Okay, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry, and I feel bad because we're making another video about this topic. Last time it was part infinity, this time it's infinity plus 1. Which is technically still infinity, because infinity is not a number, it is a concept, it is an encapsulation of all numbers, and we can get into the nitty-gritty of some infinities being larger and more quantitative than other infinities, but that's not really what this channel's about. We're not Vsauce, we're not a mathematics channel, we're just a hockey channel. And this is another story that pops up that really has been so prevalent the past little while. I said last time that every time there is something new to this topic, we kind of have the right to make a video about it, and as a result, this is what we have on our hands. We're talking about the Montreal Canadiens, and we're going over Winnipeg Jets center Pierre-Luc Dubois once more. Because, as Elliotte Friedman has been doing every few weeks, he gives us yet another piece of information as to what is apparently going on behind the scenes. Now, just in case you needed the context, Dubois was a former top pick back in 2016, he was a Blue Jacket, his last name is Dubois, so he's French, he's from Quebec, and after a whole bunch of controversy with him as a member of the Blue Jackets, he eventually got traded over to Winnipeg, where he has been the past little while. He has had some concerns about his overall projectability of staying as a Jet. He expires in 2023, making $6 million a year, and he is going to expire as an RFA. This means that when he does expire, his rights will be retained by Winnipeg, and they'll have the opportunity to sign him to a contract, but it's been a lot of speculation saying that, yeah, he's not going to sign long-term in Winnipeg. He's going to sign short-term, he's going to go to free agent status in the future, and he's going to go back home to Montreal, because that's where he wants to play. That's where all the rumors and all the insiders have been indicating that he wants to play. There was the entire crazy rumor of him going to Montreal at the draft last year because he wanted to get traded to Montreal at the draft and be on the floor when it was announced. But this is the newest update from Friedman, as if we haven't had many updates from him in the past. The most recent one from the 32 Thoughts podcast earlier this week says this: I think the Winnipeg Jets have talked to the Canadiens on and off. You know Dubois is going to end up there 95%. Is there some way we can make a deal so the Canadiens get him earlier and we get something we want? I think, Friedman says, the Jets and the Canadiens have talked about that, but they haven't been able to make the deal. And this is sort of the opposite side of the coin that we had just talked about. We've discussed the entire time, okay, Dubois is an RFA, he'll re-sign with Winnipeg short-term, go to UFA status, and then, in the future, he'll go to Montreal and sign a contract there. But of course, if you're Winnipeg and you could see this on the horizon, you don't want to go out there and let a guy that is a pretty capable point producer, who is only 24 years old right now, and who is at 58 points in 66 games played, just go away. You don't want to see that guy leave. So try to make the trade right now, see if there's anything you can get in return, and hopefully allow that return to stick around with your team for longer than 2 seasons, because if Dubois decides that he wants to leave, you're not going to really have anything in your power to stop that. He is an RFA this season, so really you're just going to have to extend the process in waiting for him to depart. And so with this idea in mind, one may ask the question, all right, what exactly is it that Pierre-Luc Dubois is worth here? Normally, a $65.6 million 24-year-old center would be pretty valuable, especially when you consider how good he has been just overall as a player, how solid he has been as a two-way guy, and what he could do if he's given the right situation, the right deployment, and the right team. There's a lot of value here, and there's a lot of talent with Dubois. So there's a pretty significant amount of value, I think, the Winnipeg Jets could receive if they decided to trade Dubois away. But that's under normal circumstances. This is not a normal circumstance because for Dubois, he's already had so many issues in the past of him wanting to leave the team that he is on. This happened in the QMJHL, this happened in Columbus, now it's happening again in Winnipeg. And it's even crazier here because everybody knows he only wants to go to Montreal. Elliotte Friedman said there's a 95% chance that he's going to end up with the Habs some way or another. And that, coming from an insider who is known for not really saying things too definitively, like, it's very rare for a guy like LeBrun or Merrick or Friedman to go out there and say, all right, yeah, it's a 95% chance that this player who is on this team is going to go to this other team in the next little while. Like, sure, you could say Patty Kane and the Rangers, Claude Giroux and the Senators. There were rumors that a lot of people knew were sort of more reputable, or not reputable, but more believable than others. But 95%? I get it, this guy's been in the Montreal media sphere for the past year and a half, it feels like, but 95% is a lot, and I feel like with everything going on the way it has, there's nothing in my mind that is saying, yeah, no, Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to be a St. Louis Blue, or he's going to be a Dallas Star, he's going to be a Panther, he's going to be a Hurricane, he's going to go somewhere else that is not Montreal once his time in Winnipeg comes to a close, if it even does come to a close. This guy's going to try to find his way with the Habs in the next few years, and everybody is pretty much under that same belief. And because of that, there is no leverage that the Winnipeg Jets could use or have in this situation. Kent Hughes has all the right to say, okay, well, you're asking for our first-round pick and this young prospect and maybe Christian Dvorak or something. You're asking for this? We can't give this to you. Why would we give this to you? We don't think it's worth it. And if we say no, it's not like you're going to get a package of this value from any other team. Everybody else knows your guy only wants to come here. So there's no reason for us to acquiesce to whatever it is you're demanding of us. And to even hammer that point home, more so, of Dubois liking the environment or wanting to come to Montreal, here's a post made on the Habs subreddit by GoHabsGo31. This is what Pierre-Luc Dubois said in an interview last year on Marty St. Louis, who, at the time, was a coaching consultant for the Blue Jackets in 2019. Dubois says this about the current Canadiens head coach. He gave me back the pleasure of playing. He's been super good to me. He wanted me not to put too much pressure and to have fun. He often reminded me of that. It's hard not to listen to a guy like that who's had an incredible career. And we've seen similar comments out of guys like Kirby Dach, for example, talking about how Marty St. Louis, Coach Marty, was the main factor in allowing these guys to enjoy the sport of hockey again. At the end of the day, this is a sport, and playing sports when you're a little kid, when you're a teenager, when you're an adult in the drop-in leagues, competitive leagues, whatever, you play to have fun. And Dubois, Kirby Dach, these guys are each saying separately, yeah, no, Marty St. Louis has given me the opportunity to have fun again. And Dubois is doing it off of a random stint that St. Louis had in 2019 of being a coaching consultant with the Blue Jackets. Now, St. Louis is the main full-time head coach in Montreal, and for Dubois, with this sort of idea built up in his mind as to what St. Louis is capable of as a coach, there's no reason for this guy to go anywhere else. All the rumors have him linked to Montreal. There are rumors of him wanting to go to Montreal. And now it's like, yeah, he loves the coach in Montreal too. There's no reason to believe any contrary ideas that he's going to find himself on any other sweater than the Habs CH red, blue, and white jersey in the next few years. Whether or not it happens via free agency, he goes to unrestricted free agency in a few years, or maybe he holds out, doesn't go to arbitration or whatever, and he ends up becoming a UFA this season, which is going to be wild if it does happen, because a lot of things would have to go right, which I don't think it's even really worth thinking about because that's so out of the ordinary. Or the Canadiens are able to get him in a trade, which Kent Hughes has all the right to say no to because he knows that Winnipeg has no bargaining power over something like this. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the newest update on Pierre-Luc Dubois from Elliot Friedman. 95% chance, he says. 95% chance that Dubois is going to be a Hab. Talk about those third overall picks, eh? Third overall centers. Kotkaniemi, Dach, Drouin, Galchenyuk even, and then you have yourselves this Pierre-Luc Dubois as well. Man, they're collecting them like Infinity Stones, eh? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.